So therefore, if a college has $55 billion,
Yep.
why do they need more money from taxpayers?
I think they need more money from taxpayers because they are making several improvements, especially in the medical field, and they are pushing society forward. This is
Why can't they
education.
use their $55 billion in the bank account?
Okay,
that they
so how about
refuse to
this?
Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel where the art of debate meets the cool side of commentary. I'm your host, The Performance. I'm going to be checking out a video titled Charlie Kirk defends Trump defunding Harvard. Wow, I believe this is going to be an interesting one. Let's check it out.
All right, how we doing, Charlie? Welcome to Long Beach. First thing I want to say. My disagreement here would be the defunding of Harvard. I want to know your legal justification for defunding Harvard.
First of all, is that a Harris Walls hat?
It is, yes. How about this? If you beat me, I'll change it.
No, it's fine. No, it's funny. It's kind of like seeing all like the losers of the Super Bowl hats, like that get sent to those African villages.
I know, yeah, no, it is.
It's like all those like Buffalo Bills Super Bowl champion
I've
hats
seen that, yeah.
that just disappear. Why is any college entitled to federal money?
Okay, so that's a good question. So first of all, medical research. So the majority of the money that goes to Harvard is medical research, and so they are a huge portion of research, Harvard especially. But then I want to get into the legal justification of it. So I think it's dumb, but I want to more focus on the legal justification of it.
Well, no college has to get money from the government.
No,
It's
100%,
done. Right,
of
so
course.
that's the legal
But you have a
justification.
reasoning for defunding Harvard, all right? And so
Several, correct.
Yes, correct.
So, but let's first get our facts right. What is
Yeah.
the endowment of Harvard?
Okay, so the endowment of you want to clarify that? What are you talking about here?
Do you know what an endowment is?
I don't know what an endowment is. What is endowment of Harvard? Yeah.
Okay, so an endowment is like think of it as a savings account.
Got it. Yep.
So Harvard has the largest savings account of any college.
Of course, yes.
What do you?
Of course.
How much money do you think that is in their savings
A
account?
substantial number. 100%.
How much? What guess? What?
Couple $1 trillion.
Okay, it's not that big, but it's
okay.
55. It's not that big.
Okay.
They're not a country, but it's
Yeah.
$55 billion.
100%. Yeah.
Okay, so therefore, if a college has $55 billion,
Yep.
why do they need more money from taxpayers?
I think they need more money from taxpayers because they are making several improvements, especially in the medical field, and they are pushing society forward. This is
Why can't they
education.
use their $55 billion in the bank account?
Okay,
that they
so how about
refuse to
this?
touch?
So how about this? Then why do they have to give their information? So let's talk about their research and their data. I think the first thing that we should agree is that there is no bad data. Every data that we have is an increase in knowledge, and we can't have bad data. So it would seriously hurt the government if they give all of their data and all of their information to the public prior, especially on research and cancer and all this kind of stuff. Do you agree that the government wants, and this is what happens right now, they want to receive that data before the rest of the public? It is super important that the government receives that data prior to the public.
Not necessarily. I think actually open source data is a great way to go. I mean, if we're financing it, why shouldn't the whole world know about it?
Well, the whole world does know about it, but the government needs to know about it first because they need to. That's a very crucial thing. But again, I want to stick to the point here. So the big reasoning.
No, but I want to just make sure that we're clear.
Okay.
They're sitting on a $55 billion
They are,
cash pile.
correct.
Yeah, and they get $2 billion a year.
Yes.
Maybe they should just tap some of the $55 billion they have to fund all of their
And they do.
their
They
programs.
don't completely use federal funding. They don't only use federal funding.
They actually have not dipped into their endowment. It actually grows every single year. But
Okay,
anyway,
yeah.
back to the legal
Yeah,
justification.
okay.
Harvard is in blatant violation of federal law.
Okay, but federal law. So I'm assuming you're referring to the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
Well, because it's the Student for Fair Admissions Supreme Court case, which
Yes.
I'm sure you're familiar
Yes,
with.
of course.
Right? They are in direct violation of accommodating Black and Hispanic students at the expense of white and Asian students, and they continue to push forward affirmative action, acceptance, and hiring practices, which is in defiance of the Supreme Court, breaking federal law. And when you break federal law, you should not get federal money. Pretty
Okay,
simple.
but the Trump administration has said that the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and anti-Semitic practices have been the reason for the defunding of Harvard. So that's the thing. They're in violation of Title VI under the
amongst many things. The strongest of all of the president's claims is the violation of the 14th Amendment and the Supreme Court decision a couple years ago,
Okay.
the Students for Fair Admissions. Harvard is in violation of that. They've acknowledged they're in violation of it.
Yes,
They
agreed.
brag about it.
Okay.
So when you're in violation of the Supreme Court, your federal money will be not
But
sent to you
let me
anymore.
ask you this. So the Harvard the Trump administration in 2019 they passed the executive decision to add religion to Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. So in 1964, would you agree that religion was not at all included in Title VI? And so my first question is, because it wasn't explicitly included in Title VI, but it was explicitly included in Title VII, how can the executive office interpret this as to wanting to include religion?
It has nothing to do with. We're talking past each other.
No,
right?
it absolutely
the core
does.
complaint is the violation of the Supreme.
DEI, yes, the DEI as an admission.
Right, no, but I mean,
rates,
so
but
you asked what is the legal justification? Very simple. When you defy the Supreme Court, you no longer get money.
But how is but at the same time, the Trump administration, by passing this executive order to count religion into the Title VI of the Civil Rights Act, that is going against the Constitution. As it's first thing I want to get to is, can you agree that in 1964 they purposely, they intentionally did not include religion into Title VI, which is education. That's education as a whole, into the Civil Rights Act.
Yes, correct.
Yes. Okay. So perfect. So then, why do you think that we are currently interpreting the addition of?
I'm not even getting into that's actually probably the White House's weakest claim. They made about 10 claims against Harvard.
Yeah.
The strongest claim, of which I will continue to rest on, is they're violating federal law. They're violating the Supreme Court. The shakiest of all their complaints is the one when it comes to anti-Semitism. By the way, they have a lot of anti-Semitism, but unfortunately in this country you're allowed to be a bigot and an anti-Semite.
Yeah, no, agreed.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But the crispest allegation against Harvard is the fact that they keep on penalizing white and Asian students that want to go to Harvard.
Okay, yes, but that's but we're talking about the pro-Palestinian protest.
No, I got it. But you're talking about a 10-part charging document. Again, I think the audience agrees. You're not really listening to what I'm saying, right?
Okay, no, but but that's different. That's not why they're defunding Harvard. That's not
no,
why
it
they're
is.
defunding
Again,
Harvard.
they put forward 10 complaints. I'm going after the top one. All right.
Okay.
Thank you for your time, and
appreciate you. All right. Thank you
enjoy
so much.
President Harris. Oh wait. Thank you. Next question.
Wow, what an interesting debate. The defunding of Harvard. Wow, I'm really surprised with the amount Charlie Kirk mentioned, that Harvard is having 50 billion or 55 billion dollars. Wow, that is really, really, really a lot. If they have that, I don't think getting more taxpayer money is going to make any difference, since they need $2 billion to be able to sustain in a year. Having 55 or 50 billion dollars is really, really a lot. And according to the point Charlie have just stated in this video, that they are defunding them not because of the money they have, but because they are not obeying the Supreme Court law. They are not obeying they are not obeying federal law. That is why they are defunding them, which boils down to DEI, affirmative action. I believe students should be admitted based on merits, based on their skill, based on competence. They shouldn't be admitted based on race, based on gender, based on religion. If you are doing any of that, it means you are not giving everyone an equal opportunity. And if students are to be admitted, you want your cutoff score for any student to be admitted should be 70 or 80. I believe all students should maintain that cutoff score. Don't make the cutoff score for some students should be 50, while some students have to get 70, 80 to be admitted. I feel that is totally unfair. That is totally unfair. I understand the fact that they are trying to promote diversity. I understand that. I know diversity, as they always say, diversity is our strength. I totally disagree to agree with that fact. I always believe that unity is our strength. If people are going to be admitted using the affirmative action, I believe people hasn't been given equal opportunity. You shouldn't favor the black more as compared to the white. You shouldn't favor the white more as compared to the black. You shouldn't favor the Asians. Rather, you should give everyone a leveling ground. You shouldn't lower the standard for anyone. You should make everyone compete at a level ground. Everyone should be given equal opportunity. Everyone should be given equal access. You shouldn't reduce the standard just to favor certain race, just to favor certain gender, just to favor certain religion. I believe the legal action taken against Advert is as a result of that. And I've really learned a lot just listening to Charlie. I hope the student do, because it's not really trying to come in agreement with Charlie. Let's keep the comments rolling. Don't forget, click on the subscribe button, click on the like button. Do have a nice day.